Welcome to the last day of Controller Champions. We've got our third place match, here going on between BeaverMan and Donald2O16Trump. Beaver is here in the blue as the Spanish. And on the other side, Trump is playing Saracens in the red. Beaver and Trump, up until the semifinals so far, had not lost any games until being dispatched here by their opponents to land in the third place contest. This will be a best of three. The loser takes home $50 and the winner $100. So Donald doesn't like to scout with the sheep, just sending them home here as he has been doing consistently so far in the tournament. Goes for going for I was about to point out that his build had been a bit different in a lot of the other games, going with a few more villagers to food before shifting over to wood, and then actually going for a 5-10 split, but this looks like the traditional start. And taking a look at Beaver's base, we're seeing very much the same thing. Got the cluster of sheep kind of hidden there under the awning. I already brought in the first rhino for Beaver. Trump has not lured either of his hunts yet. Here comes the rhino for Trump. Good timing here as the sheep is running low. Trump does have front berries and back gold on this map. Is going for the front wood line though. However, this kind of curve is nice and wallable as he does like to go for the small walls. Trump also tends to prefer to stay on one lumber camp. We saw that play into our semifinal yesterday against Ghost, who would always go for two. And weak villager for Beaver, but does complete the lore. Beaver as well has the front gold. And he has berries are, I guess, kind of on the front as well. Trump apologizing for being late here. It was just a few minutes. All right, got a house here for Beaver. And this villager is now continuing to head forward. Let's see, getting loom now for the this forward villager. Let's see, where is he headed? He has now. They sent the villager in this direction before actually spotting Trump's house. So maybe we're going to see some laming. Could get attacked by this lion before Loom comes in. And the lion's going to get a downhill shot before Loom. Oh, all right, just in time. Completes the research there. Our villager is going to be okay. No reaction yet, though. Here comes the scout to help out with the lion. All right, there we go. Crisis averted. All right, where are we going now? Forward barracks. All right. Beaver has been pretty aggressive and fun to watch in most of his games so far, so this is very much his style to go for this. And Trump might actually be able to see that already. Let's check out his point of view. He does not. Just outside of his visibility here, one tile away. Calculated by BeaverMan. He should see the scout sneaking around there now. Not necessarily any indication of what's to come. Trump does flare the scout, letting Beaver know he's been spotted. And it looks like Trump is going to be on the way up here at 22 pop. So just about done with his second rhino. Still a couple sheep there, and got the typical 4 on his berries. 9 on wood already. Decent amount of wood in the bank for Trump as he drops his barracks. And here come the militia for BeaverMan from that forward barracks. All right, Scout is in on the wood, denying Donald's barracks. The militia and villager heading that way as well now. One villager is weak, is going to get away for now. We've got a third militia joining the party. Another weak villager for Donald. No kills yet. And TC Fire is going to take down the villager from Beaver that was sent forwards. So there's our first kill, courtesy of the town center. Also grabs the scout as Donald has his resources now to advance. And he does so before taking the villager fight, sending everyone to clear up the militia here. So 3 kills so far for Trump, 4 now, 2 dead militia for Beaver. Barracks is going to go up, the rush is going to be dealt with. Everyone's still idle for Trump, back to work on the wood line. Our last militia heading over to the berries now. One militia not going to be able to do that much damage. Let's keep an eye on where this guy is headed. Looping around, looking for maybe another wood line over here, possibly just continuing to scout. Let's see what can Beaver see. Okay, so this militia is just kind of continuing to explore around Trump's base. We'll know that he's on gold now, trying to harass these builders here. All right, militia backs off. Of course, not going to be able to get a kill against that many villagers. Beaver is committing to the drush here, producing even more, and has not clicked up himself. So 3 militia now in on the gold. So while Trump has not been able to get a kill yet, getting some value out of the harassment, denying that resource might be the first kill here for, well, not the first. I guess we do have a couple kills already for BeaverMan. Weak villager, but the TC range is going to help out. Villager is safe. Militia should both go down here as Beaver takes possession of the sheep, tries to steal them. I don't think this is going to work. And maybe he is going to get away with the sheep. All right, Beaver housed here at 30. Does have a villager lead, 24 to 19, as he did not advance yet. Another another militia goes down to the TC fire. Even more on the other side. See, what is he continuing to queue? So there's nothing else in the queue right now producing. All right, Donald is now just going to take the straggler next to his town center as the militia have pushed his villagers off of wood and off of gold. And going for a market, so he is the Saracens. So they do have great market rates. I'm not sure about not going for maybe an archery range to deal with the remaining militia. I guess he's not been able to take the gold. And one more. Really splitting them up here for BeaverMan, harassing on the berries as well. Let's take a look. Is anything going on at home? We do have, okay, there's the forward range from Trump. So that probably came up actually before the market, and I just may have missed it. So chaotic game here as Beaver begins farming around his mill. The berries not quite run out yet. Check out how much do we have in this range for Donald. Just 1 archer so far, a few more on the way. As attack horns all over the place as Beaver is just making a mess of Donald's base. So 10-2 in favor of Trump with for KD though. So big investment from Beaver, who is still in the Dark Age. Has been able to deny the gold effectively, however, from Donald. He only has 9 in the bank. He's not taking any, as this mining camp should go down. And he's going to mine the further out gold. Now, conceding the gold closer to his base is trying to retake his wood line. Big numbers advantage on this militia. Gets a couple hits in, but Beaver seems to be just running away here. And Donald might out. Okay, Beaver does take the fight. I thought the militia was actually going to be chased right over to the new gold, which would have been unfortunate for Donald. All right, the militia is still kind of creeping over in that direction. One is super weak. Donald stops chasing. And the militia, let's see if those guys can actually see the gold. So he did actually not spot that Trump established new gold over here. The militia were just short on their line of sight. So Beaver still in Dark Age, still continuing to produce the militia. And at this point does still have a villager lead as Trump gets the archers out over here to counterattack on Beaver's wood line. No fletching on these guys yet. All right, got 2 weak villagers retreating here from the wood line. One goes down, the second should make it into the TC. Beaver is not paying attention to this. Trump, however, does not chase him in. There's no one to garrison here, so he could have actually gone for the pick on that one and safely killed that villager. Beaver still not on the way up. Has about 300 food there as another villager goes down to these archers. All right, now Beaver reacts, pulling his wood economy away from these archers. Everyone is into the TC now as more kills pile up for our former president, 14-2. Beaver does still have a eco lead, however, has 13 of those idle, mostly in the TC there. These archers are going to loop around, see maybe if there's other areas that he could challenge. All right, Beaver has walled in the initial lumber camp from Trump, sending another villager forward, and is trying to get some walls up on the gold. Trump is fighting that back. So what a game here. Militia running into town center fire again, as are the big group of forward villagers. So there's 5 blue villagers, well 4 now as one dies, in Beaver's base. A couple here, and there's an idol over here that completed the wall on the lumber. Market could go down. Alright, Beaver back to work. And Trump's archers chasing around the backside, getting a farmer or two, and Trump has a forward villager now as well. So he did not go home after building the archer range. This villager is still in on the action on the front as the archers briefly just attack the mill. Alright, another mill closer to the TC. Beaver thinking he wants to farm with a bit more protection. So the second gold camp for Trump still undisturbed. Market did not go down. TC continues to kill militia. Beaver now, just now, around 19.5 minutes, is able to click up to the feudal age. As these villagers are maybe going back to work on the walls around the gold. They are not. They're going to go forward walking under the town center. It's possible that Beaver just did the site menu on his new mill, and it grabbed these guys being idle, even though they were across the map. So 3 free kills for Trump's TC. So clear up for Trump, continuing to harass with his archers. Did get in on the gold over here on Beaver's side. So there's the new farms, bunch of idols now for Beaver. Still our forward builder from Trump, just hanging out here. It looks like he killed that farm. Well, the villager couldn't. The archers must have killed the farm. Be kind of funny if Trump just stole one of the farms here and the villagers were coexisting, farming together. House goes down for Beaver. All right, big lead now for Trump, who has 13 archers. No military for Beaver at the moment after losing the last of his militia to the town center. And the villager population has evened out. Beaver was ahead up until this point. Now that he's been researching the feudal age, we are 25 to 26 on our villagers. As Beaver throws down a house wall over here, preventing the archers from looping around again. He will lose this lumber camp, but he does reach the feudal age. And see what he goes for first thing here. He's got plenty of all of his resources. Maybe we're going to see some skirms to deal with the archers. Unlikely that he goes for archers of his own, being Spanish. He's going to send more villagers forward. Trump does see that, however. And he's maybe just trying to chase this guy down. So nothing in the queue yet for Beaver, as the archers continue to chip away at his buildings. All right, so no fight here. The forward villager from Trump returns to the forward base as Beaver continues to send this group of 4 villagers forward. All right, Trump taking lots of gold. And forward market, let's go. All right, Trump's got his gold mining upgrade on the way, still producing some archers, establishing a new wood line rather than trying to break through where he had been lamed earlier by Beaver. Got most of his economy on gold, totally fine as the Saracens to just abuse the market a bit. So overall, Trump has a big population lead, 44 to 26 at this point. As another building goes down to the archers in Beaver's base, Beaver is not attempting to mass up an army to fight these yet, still has 0 military. Trump should continue to get some more kills here. And did eventually pick up fletching on these archers as another villager goes down for Beaver. 3 more kills here. 4. No reaction from Beaver yet. He's going to continue to lose villagers on this wood line, as it looks like his attention is here as Donald flares it for him, like, hey bro, I'm in your base. It's time to GG. We did get a tower up for Beaver that was not effective as Donald rushes it down with his villagers. Beaver Scout going to get a kill here, as Trump then is not looking at these. So messy game. Trump at least is having fun with this one with the laugh taunt, continuing to produce archers who are slowly picking away at Beaver's building. Second range up, producing out of bolt. No villager production, no food eco at all for Trump at the moment. So Beaver harassing from scouts. He added in a forward stable next to his market over here. And did also manage to get an outpost up and trying to take down this house with the villagers. Trump is not having that. Sends over maybe a dozen or so here to take those down. Just kills the one. Doesn't re-engage with the Vil fight just yet. And from Scott this says Tool House in the chat. I agree with you there. This game I think has been over for a minute. After Beaver invested so heavily into militia and didn't get much value out of it, I think that was about the end of the game. About 15 minutes ago. Still fighting here though, 4 scouts in under the TC. And all of the villagers on the wood line went down. The TC is now going to go down to Trump's archers. The Saracen archers, I guess, are better at this than others. I had not mentioned until this point that they get a bit of bonus damage versus buildings. As Trump flaring that Beaver's losing the starting TC to archers. So nothing much left in Beaver's base. This is actually, I suppose, his main base at the moment. Still running around with the scouts over here. He's got 5 of them now. No upgrades on those guys. Building a forward house. All right, so Trump has 23 villagers. Beaver actually only has 1. And the population is 52-7 as we get our GG. So Trump wins game 1 in our best of 3 third place series. Vikings, though, get a great economy bonus in getting wheelbarrow and handcart for free. Trump is going to be playing Lithuanians, and he lost that's actually his last match against Ghost in the semifinal series was Lithuanians. Went for a ton of knights, did manage to get all the relics, but it was not enough to get the better of Solo Ghost. So it looks like Trump is headed forwards already with the scout. Maybe you're going to steal this elephant. And passes by the elephant for now. Has not taken his elephant yet. Sometimes players on Socotra will go for the elephant immediately as there's a higher risk of being lamed. Trump is making militia right away in this one. Spots a villager without loom. Beaver gets a hit there on Trump's scout. Also common to get loom right away on this map. So Trump does have loom, Beaver does not yet. As the militia are chasing Beaver's scout off. Scout gets a hit for Beaver. Militia engage. And the scout just runs away. Trump says rip. Alright. Does not lose anyone to the town center there. No kills yet so far in this game. Looks like we're not going to go for the elephant and just going to harass this wood line here with the 2 militia drush. And weak villager, but he is in range of the TC. Villager goes down, scout takes a shot, and 1 militia goes down as well. Alright, attacking the lumber camp for the time being. Right back onto the villagers. Beaver has the numbers advantage here now as Trump should lose his scout. Alright, scout goes down. This rush is likely to be dealt with by Beaver. Alright, Beaver got the better of that one. 3 kills to Trump's 1. Some idle time was forced from him, of course, being off of that wood line. Trump is just taking stragglers, has not established his lumber camp yet, does not actually have the wood for it. Of course, going for the barracks first is something you can do as Lithuanians with the additional resources at the start, as Beaver brings in his elephant just fine there. So got 4 all on one side of his lumber camp. Maybe thinking about pushing in these ostrich for BeaverMan. So far, so good on the lure. Shoots a little bit early, but not bad. And no elephant yet for Trump. It's kind of a little bit difficult to take now around the barracks. Beaver could come forward and try to steal that as well. Running low on his food under the TC, as here comes the hunter to lure the elephant just in time. So he has Loom here. Elephant's pretty close. Should be no trouble. So 3 more villagers in the queue for Trump. Not going to continue with the militia as we saw from Beaver in the previous game. He made probably a dozen militia. Trump satisfied to just attack with 2 in this one. Going to see an ostrich mill perhaps, or a lumber camp way back here. All right, so super safe lumber camp for Trump. Likely going to see a wall here and here, or maybe here and here. And on Beaver's side, he has added a barracks now as well, continues to push in the ostrich, and is taking a little bit of gold to get another militia out of that barracks. Has moved one of his lumberjacks over here for a bit of improved efficiency. Let's check out what each player has scouted so far. So Trump looked minimally around his base and went forward immediately with the Drush. Beaver going for a more traditional scouting pattern here, making rings around his own base. Does not know where Trump is yet, sending the militia out to help with the scouting. The lion is going to do a bit of damage here on the way. All right, the lion's got the hill as the scout comes over to help, but that's a significant amount of HP lost off of Beaver's militia before he has even found Trump's base. So here comes the mining camp for Beaver as he decides to long distance the rest of the ostrich as the scout is out searching for his opponent. So Trump does not know that this is coming yet. He did lose his scout in the earlier engagement. And Trump's map is a bit rough as his gold, stone, and berries are all on the front. He does have this gold here, of course. Not as safe as if it was maybe behind the TC. And looking at Beaver's side, similarly, his resources kind of in a semicircle around the front side of the base. All right, 1 militia in on the berries. The other 2 are further south here. Looking for the wood line, not going to find it immediately, so the sneaky lumber camp placement paying off already for Trump. And a Vil fight, as Trump had sent 4 or 5 there forwards. Beaver is fighting that off. Beaver has the numbers advantage as Trump looks like he's sending these villagers back home. All right, continuing to harass over here with the 1 militia, and in on the hunters with 2 militia and the scout. Trump is going to retreat to the town center with these. Does outnumber Beaver here, and one of those militia is weak. Trump maybe could have just taken that fight. Decides to go home, and Beaver is going to try to take down that mill. Does have an ostrich closer to the TC, so Donald can continue bringing in some food there despite the harassment. That one is covered by the range completely. Should be able to finish up that ostrich, no more problems. Beaver sending his villagers forward now to attack Trump's berries. All right, immediate reaction here as Trump is housed at 25. Beaver still ahead just by 1 in terms of KD, 4-3. Beaver has 5 units now, I think 4 militia and his scout, to no military at the moment for Trump. Still no production beyond his initial drush at the start of the game. And Beaver is ahead by 3 in population, well, all tied up now actually in population. He's ahead by 3 in villagers as this mill could go down. Beaver's continuing to attack both of Donald's mills. Donald fighting back over here, trying to get what's left on this ostrich. And nothing in Beaver's base at the moment. Again, going for the farms first around his mill. Risky on this map, as the mill does go down here for Donald, who has the resources now to advance. 2 militia and 4 villagers in the fight here for Beaver. Definitely outnumbered on the berries now. Pretty big score lead for Beaver at this point. This one might be more of a game than what we saw in our first match. So the weak villager is headed home as Beaver continues to harass with the remaining few as the militia does go down. He could be trapped in here, is going to lose these villagers, does get a kill for it, and his villagers actually do escape. Looping back around to rejoin the fight. actually just pulling back for a second. All right, regrouping, sending this militia over from not going to finish the job on this mill. Trump is going to bring in the rest of this ostrich. Had a couple idols, too many villagers all to fit around the body. Did get the house wall up here. Beaver could still access the wood line through this area. Might not want to get trapped in there, however. So still just some harassment on the berries as Beaver has got 3 militia and 2 villagers forward. Trump sending more of his economy over here to the berries as he is almost up. And Beaver again has not clicked. So Trump is, for the second game here, going to reach feudal age significantly faster. Still finishing off the ostrich for Beaver as Trump advances and sending a whole bunch of villagers in this direction. So we've got another barracks. Did he lose his? No, he did not lose, so he's going 2 barracks for Trump. Going to take some gold and add a tower here. The tower is kind of, oh, I guess he maybe wanted to cover all of these piles at once. Being downhill, maybe not as good as here, but that couldn't necessarily range that gold as well. So in this position does cover all of that mining. All right, so militia still just kind of looking around. The mill eventually does go down as Beaver's trying to break in on the wood, and Trump is repairing. Trump does already have a new wood line established over here, and nice centered lumber camp. No click yet from Beaver. He's almost got the 500 food. Bringing in his last ostrich over here. No laming on the ostriches in this match, and there goes Beaver on the way up to the feudal age. 10 farms there for Beaver, none yet for Trump, as the house might go down here, but Trump's got a tower on the way. Not sure if this is worth it to tower this wood line with just a few villagers on it when he's already got another one over here, as a range is going up for him next to the second barracks. And no production for Trump out of those barracks right now. He might have forgot he had the first one. I don't know about building the second and not using it. The house does go down. This villager should go down as well. All right, Beaver does not pursue under the town center, which did have a few villagers garrisoned, was not at full capacity. All right, Trump has started out archer production now, and triple barracks for BeaverMan. So we're going to see all-in infantry here in the blue. Trump adding another tower. As Beaver again lames the initial wood line from Trump with 2 houses this time, as we saw a palisade wall on the wood in the previous match. Beaver now up to feudal age. Trump adding even more towers. Militia taking shots here without doing any damage, just running around, and are going to retreat as he loses 2. Still has 6, 7, 8 now, producing, let's take a look at his point of view. Not out of all 3 barracks at the moment, just getting the men-at-arms upgrade and continuing to add in some villagers. Villager population is about the same, 31 to 32, as the freshly upgraded men-at-arms are going to attack this house. No blacksmith upgrades on those guys yet. Now producing out of all 3 of the barracks, 2 men-at-arms in each. All right, so house goes down over there. Trump is pretty safe over here with 4 soon to be 4 towers and his archers. This could be the reason for the second barracks, as Trump possibly just anticipated that Beaver was going to full commit into infantry again and wanted to have a backup. Villagers taking down Trump's house over here after completing this house wall. Forward market again from BeaverMan, his signature move here in the best of 3. As more militia coming in, or more men-at-arms now. Lots of men-at-arms from BeaverMan. He's got 17 of those at the moment. Only 3 archers from Trump. Sending the villagers forward now as well. Largely ignoring the 3 archers on the hill here in the center of the map, who do get a kill. Men-at-arms going to take down these towers. We'll make short work of those. Melee units great against just watchtowers. And there's our GG. We did get a scout to start with on Megarandom, as opposed to any shenanigans like a horse or nothing at all. Let's take a look on Trump's side. All right, so about the same start for him so far. Looks like we might have a Acropolis-style generation. Well, sort of. It is elevated all the way through the middle. Oh, you got the bow tie map. Actually, kind of like Yoda's head. It's maybe what our map looks like. So lots of golden stone right near the TC for both players. Both the stones are on the front here for Trump, who just pushes in his first deer. Beaver has his golds on the front, actually, the stones further back, almost a mirror image. Lots of gold here in the middle. Skewed a little bit towards Trump's side, it looks like, as he's got a bigger pile right next to his base. The closest pile to Beaver is a bit smaller. Not much to look at around the edges. Couple of relics here, and similarly on the opposite side of the map. Relics have not mattered in this series so far, as our first two games were decided early with Dark Age aggression. Beaver pushing in his deer now also has two boars here on this generation, has not taken those yet. And Villager going back to build a lumber camp all the way over here in the corner. So if these players are likely familiar with Megarandom, should know where to look for those, as it's very typical to get a big forest around the perimeter in a location like this. We'll probably see a small wall from Trump protecting that. You cannot build, though, on this terrain. Sending more villagers over to wood for Trump as he continues to push in his remaining deer. Shoots this one a bit far from the town center. Let's take a look, see what he has scouted yet. Has been just focusing on the deer, has not went out to scout. Appears to be doing so now, heading forward to look for BeaverMan. Zero, this is game 3. We have a tied series. The first two matches were fairly similar in big drush, heavy commitment on infantry from both players. Beaver not able to find value in the first match. Trump defended, got archers out, and was able to come away with the game. The second match on Socotra, Trump attacked first with the instant Lithuanian drush. Did get a little bit more value out of it maybe than Beaver did. His was dispatched quickly, producing only 2 militia and the scout. They went down on the wood line without much trouble. Beaver eventually got up to 3 barracks in feudal age and just overwhelmed Trump with men-at-arms, who at that point went for pretty much full tower defense with not much military. So that's the quick recap of what's happened in our series here up to game 3. So Trump did spot this house. Looks like he's just set a big loop here with waypoints. Now has realized that it's going to go back and look, trying to find Beaver's wood following the tree line around the perimeter. See what has Beaver scouted. Similar pattern here. Trying to interfere with the boar lore, thinks better of it, does not continue to harass there. Beaver did go for a lumber camp pretty far forward. So Beaver has went for forward buildings, actually a forward market in both of our first two games here. So these villagers being closer to that could be more efficient. All right, here comes the second boar in for Beaver. Not a ton of villagers there to shoot it, as he does pull some off of the first boar. See how much has Trump found. All right, the scout is actually going to run into... No, he's not. He's not going to find the lumber camp from Beaver. So big brain placement so far, as Trump has spent some time looking for the wood line and has not been able to find it. He will see the barracks from Beaver. The barracks coming up at home this time is a first for this series. Beaver has gone for the military buildings forward so far in every game. As Donald is about to be up here, it looks like on 23 population. There goes feudal in the queue. And continuing to scout after hitting that upgrade. Let's look at Beaver is also already on the way up. He went up on 21. In the previous two matches, Beaver was very much slower to the feudal age, not reaching feudal until about 21 minutes in the first game after making so many militia. So 9 on wood over here now. Still just the one lumber camp. Trump likely also on just the one, as that is his preference. House walls nicely enclosing this one as he adds a gate. Alright, so both players have located each other as Beaver's scout arrives in Trump's base, avoids the TC. Trump still has plenty of cows left over here to eat, as does Beaver. As Beaver on gold in front of the TC, as Trump has 2 barracks in the middle of the map. Beaver will spot that with these militia, and it looks like we're going to see an attack move right into the barracks, so Trump will know what's coming before these guys get into his eco. Ungarrison here on 5 now, so advantage for Trump on the infantry numbers here. Beaver, of course, as Bulgarians, gets that free upgrade right away. So Trump should not fight here. Of course, the militia will lose to the men-at-arms, even with a bit of a numbers advantage. Men-at-arms upgrade is on the way, though, for Trump. As Trump is actually sending these forwards, looking to... Let's check out, did he find the woodline? All right, he did eventually see that. The scout turned away from it at first. And Beaver is going to let these guys just head over, not using his army to protect the woodline. Interesting decision there. Quick walls, got a stone gate and a house. Going to keep Donald out. These lumberjacks will be safe for a moment. We don't need our army to defend when we can quick wall like that. So there was that same visual glitch with the trees, actually, if you guys were watching the stream yesterday, where I had thought Beaver had an awkward map generation, but same thing was happening here, where we only saw a couple trees here. Looked like you could go behind the wood when you in fact cannot. The men-at-arms eventually do make it over this way from Beaver. The wolf in on the action as well. And Trump wins this fight. Gate has about 600 HP. Beaver not repairing yet, does send over a few more of his own men-at-arms to engage. Trump ahead by 2 villagers at this point, fairly even 10 to 8 KD. Bigger army at this point for Trump, having 8 units over BeaverMan's 2. Trump is getting his upgrade on the infantry armor and continuing to produce. In Beaver's queue, just a villager, no more military at the moment, and only has 14 food, so he cannot continue to produce. No repairs yet on the gate or on this house. Villager comes out, is possibly going to go down to the scout, as... What is going on here? I guess we're trying to send the villagers forwards. The men-at-arms could clear those up, however, as our first villager will go down to the scout. So, all right, this could be our GG. This could decide the series here for Trump, as Beaver takes a disastrous engagement, losing all of his villagers, and there it is. All right, so congratulations to both these guys. Donald will be our 3rd place winner, and Beaver taking 4th place in the Controller Champions tournament.